Ladies and gentlemen, the show is about to start in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
The following program is rated TV MAL. It contains strong language and is intended only for mature audiences.
Top of the morning, happy hump day. You know what it is. Hey, put a hump in the back. Yes, indeed, it's hump day Wednesday. And shout out to the nation, man. Thank y'all for pulling up, hanging out with your boy this morning. And since yesterday we had issues with this old BS Cox internet, we're going to go ahead and go back and revisit the stuff that I was trying to play for y'all, man. We good, though. We good today, though. We good this morning. Believe that. Believe that. Shout out to everybody in the chat, man. Thank y'all for pulling up and hanging out with your boy on the new episode of Who's Your Daddy? Yes, indeed, man. Welcome to Good Morning Raider Nation live podcast, man, with your boy Lunatic Raider right here on Raiders Allegiance, man. I appreciate y'all. To the people that's here and this is your first time here, please do me a solid. Please subscribe to the channel. Hit that thumbs up. Hit the notification bell. Leave a comment. Share the Mickey Ficky video with your friend, your next door neighbor, your mailman, and even your side chick. I won't tell a soul long as you do what you're supposed to do and hit that like and leave that comment. Shout out to everybody in the chat, man. Y'all rocking and rolling with the best of the West, man. You feel me? Let's go ahead and shout out my extended Raider Nation family. You feel me? One time. My extended Raider Nation family one time, man. Hey, it's good to see y'all, man, for real on this hump day, man. We got a good show for you this morning. So I'm glad you guys are here, man. We're going to continue. Well, we're not continue. We're going to start over from what we did yesterday since the internet was tripping, but we're here now. Shout out to my guy, Michael Guerrero, man, is in the building. Yes, indeed, man. Salute to you, my brother. Thank you for being here. Yes, indeed. We got Raider Syndicate in the house, man. What is the deal, man? Hey, the mod with the most, man, is NorCal Raider Jesse in the building, man. Salute to you, my brother. Thank you for being here. Yes, sir, man. We got Tubby Chile or Child. You know what I mean? I was saying child all this time. I be hearing everybody say Chile. Tubby Chile. Until you correct me if I'm wrong, bro. You Chile today. Hey, shout out to my guy, man. Thank you for being here. Yes, sir. It is a pleasure to have you here. Miguel Santos is in the building. Good morning to you, my brother. Thank you for being here. RDF, man. What is the deal? Raider gang. We don't do no bang bang. We just Raider gang. You feel me? We don't do all that old 69 type crap. Yes, indeed, man. We doing the damn thing this morning. Eugene Powell, top of the morning. Thank you for pulling up, man. It's a pleasure to see you here, man, for real. I thought that arrest warrant may have got cashed in, bro, and you sitting there waiting for commissary this early in the morning. You feel me? Raider Nation, Jason in the building. Top of the morning to you, my kind sir. Thank you for being here. The good stuff. He's always here, man. Hey, that's right, bro. Thank you for pulling up. Hang loose. You know what I mean? JB. On the good foot, man. Top of the morning to you. Sam Tank is in the building, man. Top to you as well. Thank you for being here. Man, we in here this morning, boy. Cassano Crowder, man. Good morning to you as well. Thank you for pulling up. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Let's see. Who else we got? Raider Syndicate. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Let's see. We got Ozzy in the building. Salute to you, my brother. Thank you for pulling up. Yes, indeed. Chris Areola, man. I hope you had a good birthday yesterday, bruh. Hope everything turned out well, man. and you have fun, you know what I mean, blowing out all 65 candles on your cake. You know what I mean? Nah, let me quit, man. I hope all went well, bro, and you had a good time, man, for real. Let's see who else is in the building. We got Thomas Hernandez, man. Salute to you. Thank you for pulling up, man. It's a pleasure to have you here. 2 red rings. You know what's better than one, though. 2 of them Mickey Fickies, man, for real. Shout out to my guy, 2 red rings, for pulling up. Yes, sir. Oh, yeah, we in here, man. Hey, BL. Yes, indeed, man. Thank you for being here, my brother. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yes, indeed. Charles Washington, my dude. Thank you. Thank you kindly. You know what I mean? Thank you kindly. All right, man, let's jump into this damn show, man. This is what we here for. We here for content. I'm bringing you the content, and we going to get down with the content. All right. So, you know, yesterday, I was trying to show you what Colin Hurd was saying about the Raiders, the quarterback position, and so forth. Dope. Hey, he was hitting things right on. Hey, he was hitting that nail right on the head, bruh. You know what I mean? A lot of people may not agree with the things he was saying. Some of you might. Me being optimistic and me seeing the overall trajectory of this team, I'm optimistic, man. I can't be but optimistic. It just don't make sense to me to be a fan of something that you hate on. I'm not cut from that cloth. You know what I mean? I'm not cut from that cloth. I'm cut from the cloth that's like, so you got homeboys or families that you're real close to, right? And it's like, even if they're in the wrong, you still got their back. Oh, like being a Raider fan, even when they lose, I still got their back. Why am I gonna talk bad on them when you got 31 other teams doing it? I don't understand that. You know what I mean? So that's just my angle of how I get down with this thing, man. It's like fools that get out here and spend hella money on a lottery ticket with optimism they're gonna win it. But there's more realistic odds of winning a Super Bowl with the Raiders than you are winning a damn lottery. Some people are more optimistic with playing the crap table, the roulette table, playing poker, playing slot machines. They're more optimistic with that than with a team that you buy jerseys, hats, tickets. You go in there and buy concessions, and all of it adds up to a pretty penny. Cheaper than what you're putting money on a lottery. But you're more optimistic in the lottery than you are with your own team, something that you have fandom for. You're not a fandom. You know what I mean? You ain't going to the store buying a poker chip jersey or a roulette table hat. You're not doing none of that. You know what I mean? You ain't buying tickets to watch the World Series of craps, watching other people shoot dice, but we paying money to go watch other people play football. I just want to put that out there, bro, because it don't add up to me for people to be out there hating on something that you're supposed to love. You know what I mean? It just don't resonate with me, bro. So enough of that, man. Let's get to the good part, man. Let's get to let me get this thing going. Yes, indeed, man. We're gonna get back to these videos. What the hell this shit say? Oh, they talking about, okay, I ain't tripping off of that. All right, so let's go ahead and get into it, man. I'm going to run them back to back so we don't have no intermission in between parts of the video because the video was too long, so I had to cut it down in 4 parts. But we're getting ready to rock and roll, man. Let's do this shit.
So Jimmy Garoppolo looked pretty sharp. First start since way back when he got hurt. And I have this weird feeling. So I understand the way it works in pro sports. If you don't win, you're a loser, you get fired. But even Belichick and Greg Popovich last couple of years have struggled to win. You need personnel. So the Raiders are a really interesting team. We don't love the ownership, but they have a new front office, a new coach from New England, where they had a lot of success. Here's the other things we've noticed in the preseason. They have the best backup quarterback in the league potentially in Aiden O'Connell. I know I'm not supposed to go hypey here. That kid is a backup, looks tremendous. He's out of Purdue. I think he was a 3-year starter. He's got a big arm, nice player. 2-year starter, nice player, throws a great ball. Not going to run around a lot. That's not what he does. Confident, nice arm, accurate. I think he's looked great. So that's what we know. We also know they've blown out the Rams in San Francisco, so the energy has been great. They're playing with a ton of focus and a ton of intensity in the preseason. So here's the question, what we're all asking about the Raiders. Can Josh McDaniels coach? Well, here's the issue. There's 3 boxes he checks, and they're important boxes. Belichick respected him enough to give him the offense for over a decade. That's a big box to check. Belichick doesn't just give the offense for long, sustained periods of time to a guy that he doesn't think is smart. So Belichick, for 10-plus years, said, you run the offense. We also know Brady loved him, absolutely loved him. Well, Brady had problems with coaches down in Tampa. He didn't have any problems with Josh McDaniels. We also know, and this matters, he's verbal. He obviously interviews well. The Colts have offered him a job. The Raiders offered him a job. Apparently, he goes into a room and he can sell himself. So, now he got frustrated with Derek Carr, but I was told 2 weeks ago by somebody in that organization, a lot of people were getting frustrated with Derek Carr.
Now some of the truth is getting leaked out. 2 weeks ago, he talked to somebody within the organization that was saying everybody was getting tired of Derek Carr. It was time for a change, bro. Everybody in that locker room was not, hooray, Derek Carr. You know what I mean? Everybody wasn't on that train. So you have to shake things up when things are starting to get stale. You gotta freshen up the locker room, freshen up the morale. You know what I mean? And hit it head on with a whole different angle. You feel me? So with that being said, man, let's continue on in here. And this is crazy because Colin Hurd ain't even a Raider fan. By you know what I mean? By far, he's not a Raider fan at all, period. He done trashed on us for real before in the past. But for somebody like him, look, this is what I'm talking about. Somebody like him who's not even a Raider fan is more optimistic about the Raiders than some Raider fans. Go figure. Go figure. Let's continue on.
He wasn't for everybody. So Josh McDaniels is not a rigid old defensive coach. He's not one of these guys that struggles to communicate. There's a lot to like. Belichick absolutely trusted him. Brady loved him. He's verbal. He interviews well. We just don't know about this organization. There's 2 coaches in this league right now that I think are actually very good, but they're not winning. I think Arthur Smith in Atlanta, I think, is a pretty good coach. Well, he's not winning. And then Josh McDaniels in Vegas, I think, is a pretty good coach, and he's not winning. But it should be noted, the Raiders' defense, since he's been there, has been awful. He didn't draft it, and he doesn't coach that side. At some point, you can't blame the offensive coach because the defense can't make stops. Now, Brandon Staley with the Chargers, as the Chargers' defense struggled, blame Brandon Staley because he's in those meeting rooms. He's a defensive coach. But I watch Atlanta and I watch the Raiders, and the Raiders were like in 4 overtime games last year. They were competitive in a lot of games. And the other thing is, you have to be careful about who's a winner and who's not. Bill Parcells, Big Tuna, one of the smartest guys that's ever coached in this league, has won 57% of his games. He's a legend. Pete Carroll's won 59%. He's a legend. Kyle Shanahan, considered a genius offensively, has won 53% of his games. So it's just easy to say win more games. Andy Reid got fired by Philadelphia and used to get bagged. I mean, just dragged.
See, a lot of these great coaches only are around 50% anyway, with games won and lost. Games won and games lost, they're around 50%. And these are big name coaches. That's why I said you got to give McDaniels more time, bro. I know what year one encountered. It encountered for you implementing your system and analyzing the personnel. If you can win games along the way, you do so. But that is not going to overshadow you implementing your system and analyzing the I was going to say clientele, analyzing the personnel. You feel me? Ain't nobody out here selling dub sacks. So with that being said, let's continue on with the last part of this thoughts by Colin Hurd.
All over the place because he wasn't good with clock management. Now he's considered the smartest coach in the league. Why? Because he wins more. So when Josh McDaniels got the job in Denver, he was only 33 years old. My guess is he was a kid. He wasn't ready. He was too cocky. Okay. He's not the first young person to get a job, and he's not quite ready. The franchise has not been that capitalized, right? It had to move. The defense is a mess. They fired Gruden. They fired the GM. It's even a 5-star chef needs some produce to work with here. So they've looked good in the preseason. Garoppolo, when he's upright, is good. They have excellent offensive weapons. They appear to, in the 4th round, have gotten a kid out of Purdue, 2-year starter, Aiden O'Connell. Dude can play. Like, your backup now, he's free, and he can play. So and it's easy to say it's a tough division. Is it? Do we trust the Chargers? Do we know what Denver is? Keep your eye. The Raiders are fascinating to me. If you have a great edge rusher, a competent quarterback who's been to a Super Bowl, star back, star weapons, that's a lot of the boxes to check. Offensive coach. There's a lot of things they have which other teams don't have. And in 2023, they have a good left tackle, a good edge rusher, star weapons, star back, competent quarterback, offensive coach. That's a lot of boxes that win 10, 12 games in this league.
I was looking into Aiden O'Connell last night. He turns 25 on September 1st. This is not some kid just out of college. He was at Purdue for a while. He's married, got married to like his college sweetheart. And this kid had like no Division I offers at all out of high school. That's like one of those red flags. Like, oh, this guy's been working his butt off, ascending, tireless. They love him. And did you see what number he's wearing with the Raiders?
Yeah, Derek Carr's.
Derek Carr's been gone for like 5 minutes and he's already got his jersey? I was stunned.
And see, the future's bright. There's a lot to be optimistic about. A lot. And that's coming from somebody that just ran down every single point, every bullet point, and he's not even a Raider fan. How in the hell are you not a Raider fan, but yet can be more optimistic than a lot of Raider fans? That's what I said, man. There ain't no reason to be up there and be like, oh, we've been every time. And I'm noticing, I'm watching all these other content creators, and they say the same thing that people, the messages people leave in the chat and whatnot, and they always trying to play down the optimism that we have. Like, you know what I mean? We're optimistic about Aiden O'Connell, but then they want to try to throw stats that, well, in the past, we got quarterbacks that ain't, them quarterbacks in the past ain't Aiden O'Connell. How are you comparing apples to oranges? It's like you feel like something, well, not you, but some of these Raider fans, they feel like just because past tense was not in a positive limelight, that's what you expect to happen from here on out for the rest of your life. Raiders are just going to mess up. Raiders ain't going to do nothing. Well, if that's the case, why are you even rooting for a team that you feel like ain't never going to have hope, ain't never going to have optimism of making it back to being a championship contender? If you lack all that for your team, why is that your team? You know what I mean? If you met a woman and you doubt that she's going to be faithful, you doubt she's going to be loyal to you, you doubt that she's not going to lie to you, you doubt that she ain't going to steal from you, why is she your woman? I mean, damn. Why is she your woman? If you doubt everything, if you're not optimistic about her, why did you give her a ring and get married to her? What, something to do? So you just root for the Raiders because it's something to do? Nah, I don't like these other teams. I'll just root for the Raiders. Like you're getting an enema. You act like rooting for the Raiders is like getting an enema. Yeah, we ain't did nothing in the past couple of decades. There's always ups and downs. Some ups last longer than some downs, and vice versa. So why are you optimistic about other things that you will never win the lottery? The odds are, this is what the odds say about Powerball. You will never win it. But yet you're optimistic when you go buy the ticket that you can. You're more optimistic about a foolish ass lottery that you might never ever, not might, you ain't gonna never win that shit. The odds is stacked against you. The Raiders winning the Super Bowl, There's only 32 teams in the league you got to compete with. Well, 31 as a Raider fan. There's only 31 teams you got to compete with to try to get to the Super Bowl. You play the Powerball, there's 5 billion people you got to compete with to win the Powerball. But yet you're more optimistic that you can win that over the Raiders winning another Super Bowl. Hey, handle your business. Handle your business. Now, there's another thing that Colin Hurd had came out, and this is specifically on Aiden O'Connell. The breakdown, and I'm not going to go too much in it. I'm just going to play it because I want to cut back on the time. But check this out. This came out yesterday. So all the ones I just showed you were the day before. That's what I'm saying. He's not even a freaking Raider fan, and he's optimistic about the Raiders. Are you serious?
Bro, let's start with my hype. And I know I'm overboard here, but there is something fun, Tom, when you see a young quarterback. And, Brock Purdy's story, we've had these Dak Prescott, and all of a sudden you're like, we got to start quarterback. Now, I don't think Aiden O'Connell's that, but you're smiling. He's something. He's something, right?
There's no question. I go back to, Colin, the work that I do before the draft every year, talking to coaches and scouts around the NFL about all the top quarterbacks and the pluses, the minuses on everybody. With Aiden O'Connell, he did have a lot of fans within the league because he's got a good enough arm. He's good in terms of accuracy. He has a good feel for the passing game. He's got good feet, too. The only thing that he really couldn't do was move. The mobility was the biggest question. He's a classic NFL pocket passer. Well, who does that sound like the profile on? Another guy who went later on in the draft, Tom Brady. I'm not saying Aiden O'Connell is Tom Brady, but of course, that's Josh McDaniels' foundation going back to New England. He worked with Tom Brady for a long time. You see some similar traits in terms of how he plays within the rhythm. He knows where the football needs to go. He can move well enough. No, he's never going to take off and run on you, but his mobility within the pocket, he's got a pretty good feel for it. So Absolutely, this is going to be one of those fun stories to keep an eye on. He's not going to beat out Jimmy Garoppolo in this camp, but somewhere down the line here, we could be talking about Aiden O'Connell being something.
Raider Pete, I disagree with what you're saying. Of course, they need content, but come on now. Hating on the Raiders is content because everybody's doing it. Everybody said the Raiders weren't going to win 6 games this year. They said this team was not better. That's for content. We're like the Floyd Mayweather Jr. of football. It's like whether you love us or hate us, you still want to pay to watch us either win or watch us lose. You don't have to fall in line and be like, I'm going to act like I like the Raiders to get clicks. You can hate on the Raiders, and there's 31 other teams that's going to click because you hate the Raiders like they do. So the odds are on your side to hate the Raiders than the odds of you loving us. So I disagree with that. Yeah, he might flip his tune, but he won't flip it until after a few games if we lose them. If we come out the gate 0-5, of course he's going to change his tune. What positive can you get out of being 0-5? Facts. You know what I mean? Especially in year 2. After you went and got the pieces that you felt made your team better and fit what you're trying to do. And that's why I say year 1, you can't hold that to them after year 1. You know what I mean? You can't hold that against them in year 1. There's too much that they had to do at the last minute. McDaniels was not named coach until January 31st. Bruh. January 31st is when he was named head coach. How much time do you got to study free agency and the draft? I'm just saying. Now, this draft we just had, you can tell that they put a lot more thought process or had a more time to, actually, for factual, they did have more time because 6 of the players on this roster right now all came from the Senior Bowl who Patrick Graham coached. Go figure. Patrick Graham didn't coach last year in the Senior Bowl because he wasn't even hired with the Raiders then. Ziegler couldn't analyze no college players coming out because he wasn't the GM then. And McDaniels couldn't see what players that mother freaking fracking Ziegler was getting because he wasn't there coaching yet. Come on, bro. They had this much time to try to get in. They didn't even have their whole scout team. That's why this year they let that scout team go that was there last year because they didn't have enough time to fill the void. But yet we want to rush them. Hurry up. Oh, this team was a playoff team last year. Yes, in the fourth year of the same system, but yet we want to hold McDaniels for being 1 year in the system where let's go back and look at what Mr. Gruden's record was the first year in the system before they went to the playoffs 4 years later. 6 wins. Or matter of fact, I think it was 4. I think John Gruden only had 4 wins in his first year back with the Raiders. And it took 4 years to get back to the playoffs, which he got rid of Khalil Mack and other players. Man, I just seen somebody do a video of all the picks that if we would have made the right picks that we didn't make these past few years, bruh, we would have had Allen at quarterback. We would have had Robinson. We would have had a team loaded. The offense would have been loaded. But that just goes to show you had people running the organization that never been in a situation of building a team to win a championship. Mike Mayock has never been in a position to build a team to win a championship. Even John Gruden has never been in a position to build a team to win a championship. Listen to what I tell you. To build a team to win a championship. You got to remember, Al Davis was alive the first time Gruden was here. Who built that team? That made us contenders? Al Davis. Gruden didn't get to... come on now. You think Gruden was drafting players over Al Davis? Man, get the FUCK out of here. Hell no, he wasn't doing that. Period. And then when he went to Tampa Bay, wait a minute. Didn't Tony Dungy already build that defense? How did Tampa Bay beat the Raiders in the Super Bowl in 2002? Oh, that's right. Defense. 5 interceptions, 3 pick sixes. It was like Brian Hoyer was out there playing for the Raiders. But no, guess who they did it to? They made Gannon look horrible. And Gannon's weapons was Jerry Rice and Tim Brown. But yet, like I said, bruh, we got guys that won, 6 Super Bowls? 6 Super Bowls. 6 Super Bowls. And then there's a lot of stuff that be double standards. You know what I mean? Like, oh, well, what about when Josh Jacobs went to, or not Josh Jacobs, but when Josh McDaniels chose to be the coach of Indianapolis and then at the last minute backed out? You know, Belichick did that. Go do your research. I'll show you how cold Belichick is. Belichick signed up for a job with the Jets and didn't even show up for the press conference. He quit before he even coached the game. Belichick became the head coach of the Jets and didn't even show up for the press conference. He quit during the press conference. But yet we saying, oh, Josh McDaniels backed out of the Indianapolis coach job. Well, I wonder who he learned it from. Y'all got to do some research, bruh. Y'all got to do research. Don't just be hearing these pundits out here spreading all this BS and then you ride with it like it's gospel, like it came out of Jesus Christ's mouth. You can't do that, bruh. You got to fact check. You ain't going to let nobody just sell you a car and not figure out what if the head gasket's blown? You know what I mean? What if you need, you know what I mean? You got to check on a lot of stuff to make sure they ain't selling you no lemon, but y'all making these guys selling you lemons and you trying to go home and make lemonade, but you ain't got no sugar. You just got salt. Good luck. You know what I mean? Got to be thorough with this, bruh. I'm thorough with this. Oh yeah. Porter, yep. But man, I'm telling you, You got to be optimistic if you're a Raider fan, bro. Every team's fan is a optimistic fan of that team. That's why they all look. I do TikToks, right? I got over 4,000 followers. Now on TikTok, I talk bad about the Niners, and they get in their feelings. They be so butthurt. They get him. I'm like, bro, what are you? Shut your bitch ass up. Why is you a Niner fan on a Raider page anyway? Leaving comments. What, you expect you was going to come here and I was going to leave nice comments about the 69ers? Hell no. Hell no. That ain't going to happen, bro. That's not the world I live in. I'm on your helmet. The same way you Niner fans are on the Raiders helmets is the same way some of these Raider fans be on the Raider helmets. Sometimes if I was blind, I couldn't tell who was a Niner fan or who was a Raider fan, or who was a Kansas City Chief fan or who was a Raider fan, or who was a Donkey fan and who was. It all sounds the same. Y'all talking that same shit. Y'all talking that same shit. You'd be like, oh, don't why are you getting emotional? Because I'm just talking bad about the Raiders. Because you're a Raider fan. If you had a son that played football and he wasn't the greatest player on the team, or you the only parent in the stands talking about my son ain't shit, he trash. Hey, get my son out the game. Take his ass out. Is that what you're doing? Or you rooting him on to do well? Come on, son. Come on. Ain't that how you supposed to root your team on? Come on, Crosby. Come on, Garoppolo. Let's go. But yeah, you making TikToks and all these other videos clowning your own team, looking like a straight clown. Now, I can see if you're amongst other Raider fans and you're not on social media and y'all, man, this team is stressing me out. And you know what I mean? But y'all want to get out there and hee and ha with the enemies. Boy, I tell y'all can't be trusted as far as I can spit. For real, for real. Hey, bro, hey, that's what Jack, when Kansas City played the Niners, bruh, I hate the Niners. They not all they whole fans, but a lot of they fan base, they soft as shit. They soft as shit, bruh. They get so emotional. It's like they estrogen level is exceeding realistic levels. Like, bruh, you gonna start menstruating in a minute, bruh, if you don't tone that down. You know what I mean? You gonna think you bleeding from the ass if you don't tone that estrogen down, bruh. But yeah, bruh, I was the same way. I hate Kansas City, but I hate the Niners more. Just because of that Bay Area rival living there. You know what I mean? So it's like, okay, I don't want the Niners to get 6, but I'm not mad if Kansas City get 2 or 3. It's 3, huh? It took Kansas City 50 years to catch up with us. You know what I mean? That just shows you. Raiders ain't won a Super Bowl since 83, and it took Kansas City last season to catch us in Super Bowl wins. Go figure. Go figure. We ain't won a game. Oh, my God. What, 40 years? 40 years we ain't won the Super Bowl, and it took them that many to catch up to the Raiders with Super Bowl victories. 40 years. We ain't did shit. Willie Wayne, what's the deal, man? Tops to you. Tops to you. Yeah, man. So I'm just playing these things. And now we got, okay, now let's get to the preseason. This is the last preseason week. I didn't have fun with that topic. Let's clown the Cowgirls one time. You know what I mean? I've been working on memes and stuff. I'm gonna play this meme for y'all. But yeah, this is our last preseason game. I don't think they're going to dress up a lot of players to bring with them, because now we're going to start having to figure out this 53-man roster. As you guys if you don't know, or if you do know, Darian Butler has been placed on IR with a torn ACL. That's the linebacker undrafted out of Arizona State that we had last year. He's torn his ACL. What that does is open up a position at linebacker. So you possibly could look at a Drake Thomas making the team, or maybe even Amari Burney making the team in that last slot. You know what I mean? So it's a wait and see. I might do me a 53-man roster, just my prediction, but my prediction don't mean nothing. Whatever the Raiders choose is what they're gonna rock with. It don't matter what I think, but it'll be fun just to who I see, I think makes the roster, and then when I get to really see on Tuesday when they make that final cut, who they picked, then I get to see, like, are we in the same spectrum as far as opinions about this roster and filling it out. But yeah, we got the Cowboys, the last game this Saturday in Dallas. Well, they don't even play in Dallas, in bumfuck Egypt. And yeah, I'm curious on how they're gonna do this. I'm wondering if they're gonna have Aiden O'Connell play majority of the game. Here's what I thought. I know Brian Hoyer didn't do so well last week, but that's the first and only game he played in the preseason so far, right? And then I heard that there is a battle between quarterback 2 between Hoyer and Aiden O'Connell. And if that's the truth, you would think that Hoyer and Aiden would be playing in this last game to really see who gets the edge, because you got to remember, O'Connell did play in 2 preseason games, Hoyer only 1. So do you let him try to get some get back? And it was at the game he shakes off the rust, and you know what I mean? Not that I'm saying he's going to win QB2, but let the battle continue. Let the battle continue. You know what I mean? That's all I can say. Same with the offensive line. You either, if there's any more battles left that the Raiders are unsure of, let them battle. If not, tinker around with combination of players on that offensive line, just so everybody can start getting familiar with the different play abilities of the man next to him, so they can get familiar with it. You know what I mean? Just in case somebody goes down or whatnot. You always gotta, just in case. I call it the just in case factor. Just in case this happens, you're ready for it. You know what I mean? Do you need the veterans out there? No, not when you got a 91-man roster and you got to cut down to 53 by Tuesday. You let these guys get out there that's at the bottom of the barrel, fight it out for the bottom part of the roster. You know what I mean? Which a lot of guys that I can see that will make the roster at the bottom around the 53 area would be the guys that also play special teams as well. You know, you'll keep a special team player that also plays other positions, defense or offensive. You would keep them on the roster first because they serve more than one purpose. You know what I mean? So that's going to be very interesting to see how this goes. But I'm curious on who they bring to Dallas with them to play the Cowgirls. And I'm curious on the battles that the front office perceives to be battles, and see, you know what I mean, to get down like, oh, these guys must be battling because they brought this safety and that safety, or that receiver and that receiver. I expect, let me see, who else do I figure would be a good battle when you get to the offensive side of the ball. I think running backs are pretty much sold up. Josh Jacobs is expected to come back. I know the reports out there, and Josh Jacobs posted something that I don't remember saying that, but then he quickly erased it. Why would you erase something like that then? If you post something, I don't remember saying that, and then come back behind it and erase it, why would you have to erase something like that? That's not nothing to have to erase, unless like your agent or somebody told you, hey, bro, we are on the verge, because you know Josh Jacobs does not do any of the negotiating. His agent does. So maybe there's something that, hey, the agent tell him, look, we gonna sign this. They're gonna maybe the Raiders up the ante. Maybe it's $12 million that they shoot him. You know what I mean? Maybe they adjust that 1-year deal franchise tag and give him more. So it's a wait and see, man. It's a wait and see. But I'm curious to see these last guys go out there and give it their all to try to make this roster, man, for real, for real. Let me see. Ozzy, why would you? What's the purpose of letting Chase Garbers play all 4 quarters? Would you think he's gonna make the roster? I don't see the purpose in that. Why would you put him out there if it's most likely he get cut and subject him to injury where he can't find another team in case maybe another team does want him and put him on the practice squad? You know what I mean? We get worried about the veterans getting hurt, but why would you dampen a young guy's career by putting him out there for 4 quarters of a game that does not matter on a team that he probably won't be on this season? Why would you risk that injury? That to me, that's horrible. You know what I mean? He's not trying to. There's no roster spot for him here. Now, I know a lot of people say get rid of Hoyer, but I mean, let's keep it a buck. Hoyer is more reliable on knowledge than anything else. And I think he's one of the reasons why Aiden O'Connell is progressing the way he is. Because there's no quarterback in that room that has more knowledge of this system than Hoyer. Hoyer just don't have it physically. That's all I can see. I just think, to the end of the road, still I can't let go. Shout out to Boys to Men. End of the road, man. It's end of the road for Hoyer, bruh. But he can provide other aspects of developing O'Connell. You know what I mean? Yeah, he ain't gonna beat out Hoyer. Hoyer is just, Hoyer is that, like, in the hallway, it's a break glass in case of emergency. That's Hoyer. You only gonna break that glass if it's an emergency, bro. And the way this offensive line look and continue their growth from last year when they were ranked 10th overall in the league, with a year of the system under their belt, this offensive line will be a whole lot better than last year as well. The starters, that is. So I'm not worried about Garoppolo. I'm not worried about Aiden O'Connell. But I would love Hoyer to be there just so if O'Connell has questions, because we know the starter is Garoppolo. So Garoppolo's going to be out there on the field. So while O'Connell is watching Garoppolo operate, he can then at the same time question Hoyer about what's going on in the play call. That's the best of both worlds. You get to watch one quarterback and question the other. Right there at your disposal. Right there at your disposal to help O'Connell develop. Because I know and I feel O'Connell, he's the future at quarterback for our team. We got our quarterback, it looks like, y'all. He fits this system. He has everything he needs to succeed in this system. So it's like, continue to grow him. Grow him like as a chia. Chia. You know what I mean? Hey, continue to let him grow. You know what I mean? But let him have knowledge from visual and from his ear. You know what I mean? Visual, he can see Garoppolo while he's doing a drive, and at the same time, he can ask questions about that drive to Hoyer, who's right here next to him. Hey, so look, in this play call right here, you know what I mean? That's the beauty of this. Hoyer has a purpose. His purpose ain't to lead us nowhere, but his purpose is to share his knowledge with O'Connell, and let's help develop him. You know what I mean? Let's get him ready for when it's his turn to take over this franchise, bro. He's the cornerback for years to come and get a couple of rings along the way. You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. And don't forget, I'm gonna tell y'all another thing, and this is what a lot of people ain't talking about. Here's a secret weapon, though. You got, say for instance, look, okay, like I said, you're watching Garoppolo. Say you're O'Connell. You're watching Garoppolo, so you physically get to see him operate in the system, right? Now you got Hoyer. You got Hoyer in your ear with wealth of knowledge of the system. But guess who's upstairs but check this out. Guess who's in the suite with Mark Davis? Tom Brady. Watching his team part ownership, get out there and play. And I know if he watches O'Connell out there, I wouldn't even doubt if Brady done already reached out to O'Connell, because that's the same, not in all aspects, but that's the same prototype of quarterback that they say O'Connell reminds people of is Brady. Even these guys I just played that interview from, they said it. McDaniel said it. Ziegler said it. This is what they say, that not all the way through, but he has some parts of his game that reminds them of Tom Brady. Well, who better else would you like to talk to about this system and how to perform at quarterback? How about Tom Brady himself, who's sitting up in the owner's booth watching his Raiders with Mark Davis, and at practice, I'm pretty sure he comes down to the field when he's in town, and most likely he is in town because he got other endeavors here in Las Vegas. But man, if Brady sees himself in O'Connell, Brady fucking with him. Brady's in his ear. Brady's already giving him inside game about this system. Brady is giving that. I think that's, you know what? Now that I think about it, that's probably why O'Connell is progressing so quickly. You got Garoppolo, Hoyer, and Brady. And not to mention the architect of the offense, Josh McDaniels, all grooming you. All you got to do is be hungry to learn. All you got to do is just thirst for knowledge, and all the knowledge is there. Here's the thing. Look, let me give you this. And I just heard this quote, bruh. And the quote just stands with me. It stands with me because it makes perfect sense. And we can apply this to this situation. They said, if you're the smartest person in the room, then you're in the wrong room. For those that don't catch that quote, let me repeat it again. If you are the smartest person in the room, then you are in the wrong room, because there's nothing to learn in that room. That's what I look at these quarterbacks. Aiden O'Connell in the quarterback room. You're not the smartest in that room, but look at all the knowledge that you have around you can learn from. That's the most beautiful, straight to the point quote that I've ever heard. You know, some people are so full of ego that they brag about, yeah, I'm the smartest guy in the room. That's not the room you want to be in. There's no growth for a person that's the smartest person in the room. What growth are you going to get? From who? What are you going to learn? Nothing. So now you done retarded your growth. You know what I mean? By being the smartest person in the room. You want to be in the room where you're not the smartest, because then there's a lot more information for you to obtain. That is Aiden O'Connell in a room with Hoyer, Garoppolo, and Brady. If they're all sitting in the same room and I'm O'Connell, I'm celebrating. I can master this system with the knowledge of these guys, what they already know. Oh yeah, I'm about to be the franchise quarterback when it's my turn, bruh, and I'm not giving it up. I'm here for the next 20. You know what I mean? It's a beautiful thing, bruh. It's a beautiful thing. Said the growth in the champagne room. Yeah, with that second head that ain't got no brain, and usually it's the brainless head that gets you in trouble when you paying child support for 18 years and then plus extra years if that kid goes to college. Yeah, deal with that one because of the growth of that head. But yes, I'm optimistic, because there's a lot of signs and there are a lot of reasons to be. Even the team itself is optimistic and they play. We on the outside looking in, and some of us is not optimistic, and these guys has played for this team. Even Max Crosby is optimistic, bro. So hey, everybody jump on the optimism train. Choo choo. You know what I mean? And all aboard the optimism train. Oh, yeah. There's a lot to be optimistic about, y'all. Hey, shout out to y'all, man. Thank y'all for pulling up, man. I try to make this show entertaining and informative, but there's a lot of information I passed on to y'all. You know what I mean? And thank you guys for your support. Everybody ain't gonna have the same opinion. This is just my opinion. It doesn't have to be factual. It can be opinionated, but it's Lunatic's opinion. You feel me? Some of y'all might ride with it. Some of y'all might collide with it. That's on you. You feel me? So with that being said, man, you guys enjoy your Wednesday. Be safe. Make it back home to your loved ones. Do not end up as cellies with with Ruggs, because I'm not laughing at that shit though, but yeah, Ruggs just been transferred from the county to the penitentiary where he'll start his 3 to 10 year stint. Prison time. You feel me? So learn from that. Do not drink and drive, man. Be considerate of others. And I'll tell y'all, man, hey, there's a lot to be optimistic about with this team, bro. And I just can't wait to see them hit the field week 1 versus the Donkeys so we can castrate them on live TV. You feel me? To those who are here for the first time, please subscribe to the channel, hit that like, leave a comment, share the video, hit the notification, all that good stuff. You know what I mean? I got more content coming for you tomorrow. I will be here, same Raider time, same Raider channel, man. It's the Good Morning Raider Nation live podcast right here on Raiders Allegiance with your boy Lunatic Raider. I thank each and every one of you guys for gracing this page, gracing this channel, and gracing this show, man. I appreciate y'all, man. There's only one nation. That's the Mickey Figgy Raider Nation. Hey, y'all go out there, enjoy your day, and I'll see y'all Thursday morning right here. I'm out this. B-I-N.